Dustin, thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate it.
Mr. Peña.
It's a long time overdue.
It really is, Mr. Peña. I got to tell you, you don't look a day over the last time I saw you.
You're very kind. You're very kind. You're very kind. And you know, I turned 80 a couple of weeks ago. 78. My God, I'm already shoving myself older. But I feel good, and I enjoy still helping the kids. And of course, you know, I call everybody kid because I'm either old enough to be their father or grandfather. And it's great for you to be here and share your experience with the audience. And this time it's all men, but normally there's a mix of men and women. But and your spot here is to share with my audience, which is about 1 million people, a little more than 1 million. You know, what brought you to your level of success in various areas of life.
So, Mr. Peña, when I first met you 4 years ago, I think like most people that see him, I was, admittedly, I was a little taken back by some of the words. I was a little in shock. And I said, how is it possible to beat people up for days and build them back up? But I would tell you, when I met you 4 years ago here at the castle, I went through this experience from a different lens. I understood, because in this world, by most standards, I had been the one people had been taken advantage of in business. I was the nice guy. I still am. I know I am naive. I am a forever optimist. When I had met you, I was at a turning point in my life. You know, it's kind of like that. I refer to this as the tipping point. You know, it's the moment in either which you're going to fall forward or you're going to fall back and continue to be a volunteer victim. Because I think that's where you help people like me. You prevent me from allowing myself to think I'm actually special. I'm the only one that's suffering from trauma. I'm the only one that has something that I'm going through. And Mr. Peña, that has separated you from every other supposed Sherpa that has ever come into my life. And they're all trying to give me some sort of potions, which you never have. So I will tell you, you have changed the direction of my life. You have filled me. You've made me become a lion. And I know you don't like my mane these days. But you did that, Mr. Peña.
Well, thank you very much. But when I started doing this 30 years ago, you know, my goal was to change 1 million lives. Okay, in that regard, I wanted to create 1 million millionaires. Okay, and I've succeeded at that. But I didn't understand or realize how many people fell into your category, and that were not permanent victims, but almost permanent victims. For they didn't have a role model. I know you didn't have a role model as a dad. I know your background. And so I kind of fulfilled that role model of a parent that they didn't have. Now, I didn't know how successful I was going to be at it because I didn't know how big the need was. And so it's been tough sledding. I don't mind telling you. But as my press clippings would say, I'm very good at it. I'm arguably the best at it. And for you to share what you have learned in your 40 years, I know you just had a 40th birthday. You look that old.
You see the wisdom lines
Oh, yeah,
here?
well, yeah, but I mean...
My wife's trying to push me for Botox, and I go, I love
that. But it is possible. But it's not easy excelling in life. It's just not.
And that's the thing, sir, is that you taught me a lesson, and I like to say that when I became a dad, somebody had said this to me, and I didn't really understand it. That is, you're preparing your kids for the day you're no longer here. And that is what you do, Mr. Peña. You prepare your kids for the day you're no longer here. You have come to conclude, because you have met the world's elite, you have been around the greatest minds that our generations will ever see, you know that you are the last one. And while some people maybe don't like the way you speak to them or talk to them, I take it with pride to say he cares about me. Because I will tell you, I've met many people that are less successful than you and are remarkably more successful. They don't give me the time of day. And many of them, all of them, are vampires. You know, vampires are the ones that bite you. You didn't even know they bite you. You let people know, I'm going to sink my teeth into you. And I'm hoping that in that process, I can give you some of the insight. Talk about these past 4 years during Corona. Most people got fat and lazy and sat on couches. Me, it was 80 to 100 hours a week, because that's what it takes to succeed. Ideas are easy. You think you're unique. You're the only one that has an idea. Execution is very, very challenging, especially when you don't look to wise men and to wise women. And that's the thing about you, Mr. Peña, is you do bring wise women here. you allow them to shine. I mean, through the QLA, many of you will get to see some global world changers, women that are telling you, you can do this, but you have to start with believing it, because that's what you fill people with. You filled it with me. I was the dropout of college. I wasn't supposed to succeed. My mother abandoned me when I was 18 months old. The heart wants what the heart wants. She met another man and got pregnant. My father, he made a series of bad choices and left me when I was 5. So we carry this weight, all of us, and everyone I'm sure tuning in has something that they look back on. You didn't feel bad for me. You told me at some point, shut up. I don't want to hear what you've been through. That was yesterday. Today is day 0. That is what I wrote in my notes here throughout this experience. Again, day 0.
Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
That this is the day that I would say to you, you need to train like you have never won. And you need to compete like you've never lost.
Correct.
And that is what you fill every single person that goes through QLA with. That it is about preparing them for a world that doesn't care about them. A world that pretends and takes and strips them of every resource that they have. And that is something that I think is fascinating about you, Mr. Peña. Having been a journalist myself, having interviewed you in the past, I'm a QLA for life individual, is that you prepared me for the day you're no longer here. Because morbidity and mortality, well, I want to immortalize you forever, it is for certain. And I think that for those of you that are out there trying to consider, should I do this again? Should I come? Should my family members come? He won't be here forever. This is the best of him. The best of Mr. Peña is right now here. I stayed up last night. You've been getting my homework assignments. I send my homework in at 1 a.m. Why? I want it to be excellence. You are the yardstick of quality.
Thank you.
There is no one like you.
Thank you. Well, the vis-a-vis women that you alluded to just a few seconds ago, we show women that it's possible and that there really isn't any glass ceiling by example. I have not countless, but many, many, many super high-performance women that I've had the privilege of training over the years. This is my 30th year of doing this. And just recently, just an hour or so ago, you saw one of them from Texas, Rebecca. That's not what I call her. Her nickname is not that. But and she has done it against the grain. And we have several others. And when a young woman, a middle-aged woman, again, you're all kids to me, sees that somebody's doing it over the top. Every day they're giving their best effort. Every day they're being all they can be. And there's still, some of them are still being housewives. Some of them are still being mothers and business owners and entrepreneurs and leading from the front and using a slightly different take on leadership, because women lead not like men lead, but they still lead. They still have leadership qualities. And over the years, we've come through many, and the kids, again, the young women are doing a fabulous job, and they're showing the highlights of my methodology that I've used myself for over 50 years. And when we get somebody like yourself that has seen different parts of the world, not just the entrepreneurial business side of the world, it's enjoyable to me. It's fulfilling to me that people like yourself can open your eyes to it.
Absolutely.
Because not everybody has open eyes.
No, they don't, Mr. Peña. And I think that's what's fascinating is you must be at a stage in life where you're ready, because in order to change your life, you need to change your habits. It starts with your habits. What is your schedule? What does it look like? Who's holding you accountable? And Mr. Peña, you have taught me I hold me accountable. I make a covenant. I do not negotiate with myself. I keep my goals. I get them. Independent of death or a coma, I will reach those goals. They are achievable. You taught me to shoot further than anything I ever imagined. I have gone to that point and I went, it was too low. Now at this new stage of turning the ripe old age of 40, Mr. Peña, I can only hope that I make an impact on the world like you have. And
you will.
I am
That's your
grateful
goal.
for you.
You will. You will. And I mean, you shoot for Mars, and so you only hit the moon. I mean, it's still a lot higher than you would have judged yourself to be able to do. One thing I've learned in the 30 years of mentoring and coaching is no one ever exceeds their highest expectation of themselves. No one ever exceeds that. Okay? And the higher the expectations of yourself, and you're talking about you're the only one that holds you accountable, or I should say you're the only accountability that counts.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's the world's different. And you've made me proud the last 4 years, and I'm sure you'll continue to make me proud.
And one of the other things that I will tell you if you are going to come to this experience, and again, you are running out of time. You don't have the time you think. And I think that's what we put off, right? We'll do it tomorrow. Now when I invite people to come join me at places around the world that want to know how I did it, I'll ask them to come join me and I'll say, I'll try. I'll try. Is that what you do in every aspect of your life? I'll try. That's not a commitment. You say a word I will not use, but just do it. That this is your moment. You're not going to get it ever again. But you do something unique. You give it all away. Mm-hmm. That you can go online and you can watch and you can learn from hundreds of people that are so much more successful than me in what they do. I've done very small deals, and Mr. Peña beats on me continuously for it, of course. But what I know is in the future, with QLA behind me, I have an army, because that's what you've done. You have raised an army of leaders who do give back. I mean, Mr. Peña, one of the things that's unique about you that doesn't hit the press, that doesn't get out, is that you help to build schools, you build churches, you help underprivileged children. They only see that, I'll call it the mirage. They never see the heart. And that's what you are. You're a man with heart, Mr. Peña. I've been with you. I've been with you when I'm at my worst and at my best.
This is not publicized at all.
It is not.
No.
They do not see the heart that's inside of you. They do not know the amount of money. And it is not for them to know. You didn't do it for them. You did it because you know that was what you were called to. And they say to start each day with a task completed, to find someone to help you through life. Admiral McRaven said to know that life is not fair and you will fail. But you got to take risk and you step up when the times are toughest. And know that success does leave clues. You also taught me, Mr. Peña, that failure leaves even bigger clues.
Correct.
You've given me a lot of counsel. You call it common sense, sir. And one of the things that I learned most is pay attention. He's not just dropping it because he wants to say it. He's telling you that you will face this throughout the course of your career and personal relationships. And yes, even the people in your life right now, they are bad for you. They are toxic. You said to me, show me your friends and I'll what?
Show you your future.
Well, I upgraded, Mr. Peña. I put a new group of people around me. My standard of friendship became significantly higher, and I leveled up because of it. And I owe that to QLA. I owe it to you, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But all high-performance people are an average of the friends or the 5 people they spend the most time with. Normally, that's a mom, maybe a part-time dad, an older brother, a grandparent, a cousin. And what do they know about high performance? What do they know about high-performance training? What kind of benchmarks or hurdle rates are they putting before you?
Yes,
normally, never high enough, and they're happy with the status quo. And being a high-performance person has been a high-performance person in every aspect of your life. And I've seen that change in you.
Yes, sir.
Last night at dinner, when Sally and I were walking back to the castle, and I said, well, what did you think? He says, he's not the same kid. She calls me a kid as well, my wife. And you're not. And you're in different circles. Some of the things you're doing now, I did when I was 40 or thereabouts. And nobody thought that I'd lived twice 40, which I'm almost now. But you are, in my judgment, have just begun your trek for spreading goodness, if you will, and goodwill. And you've got decades to do it, just decades. And the people that you're making relationships with now, you're forming associations, in some aspects partnerships, in some aspects joint ventures, will last you forever. But it's a movable feast. You will continue to upgrade and uplift the people that you surround yourself with.
And that's the part, Mr. Peña, that you told me in the beginning, trust the process. Of course, at the time, the knower, the process, what does he know? Well, I followed your process, and it was hard, and it was difficult, and it required doing away with those habits, doing away with the people that were taking my time. Now I do not respond to people that take my time. Why? You teach people exactly how to treat you. You want to improve your life, yet you complain about it. You talk about all the things you don't have. Mr. Peña, you give me and others the tools to go out and to go take what we want, but you also teach us that impact, because that is what you have lived for. It's impact. You have affected millions and millions and millions of individuals around the world. That to me is your greatest legacy, and one that I am proud to say that I'm a part of now. Because you believed in me when the rich and the powerful didn't know my name. When people didn't ask me for things. Now, your guidance, I've been called every name in the world now. I've been called the devil from family members because I don't give them money. I have been guilted by countless charities and organizations, and what you taught me was trust your gut. Learn to trust your gut. I know when to say yes now. I know when to say no. I know when relationships are not good for me. And I did that because I listened to you in many of the key areas to improve the quality and outcome of my life. You gave me a financial future, and you did that without asking anything in return. And I'm a believer that it should always cost you something, that there has to be a barrier of entry. And the barrier of entry, the tests you put people through, I loved it. Because I had to be brutally honest with me. I had to finally look in the mirror and get to know myself. And that is what you do for people, Mr. Peña. You get them to know exactly who they are, so they can become the best version, so the future them thanks them. And you told me recently that you're running for politics, and I will tell you, you would be a terrific leader.
Thank you.
I have been there under your command for years. I know your heart for the people. And with that, whatever I can do to help you, sir, it would be an honor.
Well, thank you very much. And I look forward, and you're only going to get better at it. With age does come wisdom. It doesn't have to be a receding hairline and gray hair like with me, but with age does come wisdom. And I've been privileged to be around some really, really great mentors, and they were creative and very giving of their time. And you know some of the names, but they've all gone to their maker, and so I'm the one left. So it's my privilege to help you and what you're associated with, and I look forward to it eagerly.
Well, you are more than just my mentor. You are my friend, Mr. Peña.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.